90% of the world is fed by 100 crop species. Bees pollinate 70 of them, along with countless other plants and flowers integral to the health of our ecosystem. A world without bees eventually becomes a world without us, and yet we're losing bee colonies at a startling pace, raising questions about the future of food, farming, and financial investments I've made in a company that makes skin lotions out of honey. This week on the feed, we're talking bees, why they're important, what they provide, and how I can save my portfolio.
Bees are so important that the USDA actually considers honeybees to be the third most important type of livestock in the US behind cows and pigs. And I'd say they're even more important than that. Cows burp methane that poisons the atmosphere. Bees pollinate plants that filter out carbon dioxide and create oxygen. Fuck cows with a rusty pipe is what I'm saying.
That's Brianna Mashburn. She's a professor of entomology, aka the study of insects, at North Dakota State University. North Dakota is the honey-producing capital of the United States, and, fun fact, it's where the lotion company I invested in, Sweet Creams, gets its honey. Brianna, I found that sometimes people can have a hard time imagining large-scale consequences like this, so let's minimize it. Let's say you invested quite a bit of your money into a beauty company that specializes in honey-based moisturizers. Would you, knowing what you know, have even made that investment in the first place?
If your industry is based on the existence of an animal that may not exist for much longer, then you've made a huge mistake. You don't need to be a bug professor like me to Google bees.
You're really funny, Brianna. Of course, you could just Google bees. Fuck. Brianna isn't the only one trying to spread the bad news about bees. Brian, you have no idea how hard it is to convince a senator at a hearing that we need to save bees or the world as we know it will wither to a husk and us along with it. Taylor Rice is one of America's most vocal bee advocates. It even landed him a guest spot on Sesame Street. Here he is educating Cookie Monster on the important role bees play in our environment. So you see, Cookie Monster, bees are important because they make the honey that goes into all the delicious treats that you love, including cookies.
But Taylor, I don't like getting stung by bees.
Well, then I guess it makes sense that you're okay with the mass extinction of a vital species, considering that you're a fucking monster!
Cookie.
Yeah, keep cheering. You're cheering for your own demise. Bees give us so much, and we repay them by spraying them with pesticides, superheating the climate, destroying their habitats, poisoning the air, and making them the villain of the movie My Girl. He shouldn't have been throwing rocks at a hive in the first place. That fucker deserved it. What, if anything, can the average investor in a honey-based moisturizer company do to help bees thrive once again? Whoa, hold on. Is this what this is all about for you? We're barreling toward a bee-apocalypse and you're worried about a shitty moisturizer investment? No, it's not shitty. It's not shitty. They still need to make the lotion less attractive to bears, but long-term, I'm right there with you, brother. We gotta save my portfolio. I mean bees. For like the earth and shit. Humanity's sake and whatnot. As soon as I figure out how to command bees, I'm sending some right at you. The fight has become so dire that it spawned an entirely new profession. Urban beekeepers. It's what brought my journey to save the bees and my children's college fund to a rooftop bee farm in Brooklyn that supplies honey to local restaurants and bakeries. So I'm here at a rooftop in Brooklyn with Alyssa, and how many bees do you have again?
Over 70,000.
Wow, 70,000. How do you keep track of them all?
They generally stick close to the queen. What's a little bit more difficult is keeping the hives around at all. Colony theft skyrocketed after populations went into decline.
What do the thieves do with them?
Sell them, or keep them to start their own colonies. Honey's big business nowadays.
Wow, how interesting.
Yeah.
Give me the bees. What are you doing? Let go of the hive. Give me the bees. I have to crunch them up so I can use their honey in my lotions.
That's not how they make honey.
Well, that's just one more thing I have to Google about bees then, isn't it?
That sounds like a continuation of a conversation I had nothing to do with. Please let go.
It was a risky maneuver that wound up being a less than ideal way to find out I'm allergic to bee stings. I made it halfway down a classic New York City fire escape staircase before I collapsed in anaphylactic shock. The bees were safely returned to Alyssa, save for a few that were crushed beneath my body flop, and I was arrested. Not my best moment. But there's an upside. Sweet Cream's Lotions Company was so embarrassed by my actions that they felt they needed to distance themselves from me and could think of no better way to do it than by returning my investment. Crime pays, even if it's just a refund. Next week on the feed, I'm going to eat a big wet bowl of spaghetti, and you're going to listen to all 35 minutes of it, because our metrics suggest that I've got you suckers exactly where I want you. See you then.